Kakbhushundi arrived under the banyan tree and saw the expectant expressions of the birds seated before him. Closing his eyes, he mentally invoked Sri Ram and then began the story. Hanuman arrived in the Ashok grove and found Sita Devi seated beneath one tree. Her body was emaciated and she looked weak and tired. Her eyes were sad and her mind was lost in thoughts of Sri Ram. Ravan had warned her. If she did not agree to marry him by the end of the month, he would kill her. Seeing her drowned in sorrow, Hanuman, who was hidden in the leaves of the tree beneath which she sat, dropped Sri Ram's golden ring. It fell in front of Sita Devi. She was startled, but she saw the ring and recognized it immediately. At that very moment, Hanuman, who was a good musician and a very accomplished singer, began to sing of the virtues of Sri Ram. Hidden among the leaves of the tree, he recited the entire Ramayana in the sweetest of voices. Hearing that, Sita Devi felt all her sorrows melt away. Kakbhushundi paused and asked his audience, "What do we learn from this?" "That when we are sad, we should listen to this story, then our sorrows too will melt away," said the pensive partridge. "And if we keep listening to the story day after day as we do, then we will not feel sorrow in the first place," added the peacock triumphantly. "True," said Kakbhushundi, and then continued with his story. After having heard the entire Ramayana rendered in such a mellifluous voice, Sita Devi asked for the storyteller to appear before her. Hanuman, forgetting that he was in that tiny little form, jumped down before her. Sita Devi was completely shocked to see him and stepped back, looking very confused. So Hanuman hastily said, "O mother, I am the messenger of Sri Ram." And he went on to explain to her how he had met Sri Ram, and he reminded her of that bundle of ornaments that she had dropped to a group of monkeys when she was being carried off by Ravan over Mount Rishyamukha. Then Sita Devi was assured that this indeed was a messenger of Sri Ram. Hanuman then gave her Sri Ram's message. And when Sita Devi heard the loving, reassuring words of Sri Ram and of the grief that he felt at being separated from her, she was submerged in love. Her spirits lifted instantly. Then Hanuman explained to her that Sri Ram would be arriving very soon, and therefore she had to bear up with this situation just for a little while longer. Sita Devi felt so much love for Hanuman that she addressed him as son. But then she had one doubt. Were all the monkeys in Sri Ram's army, she asked, as tiny as Hanuman? Because if that was so, how would they face the huge, terrifying Rakshasas of Ravan's army? Immediately Hanuman expanded his size to a most intimidating mountain-like form. Sita Devi felt very reassured, and then Hanuman quickly reassumed his tiny size. Seeing her expression of shock at this, change of size from tiny to huge and tiny again, Hanuman assured her that all his powers derived from the glory of Sri Ram. It was by the strength of Sri Ram that he could do all the things that he did. Without Sri Ram, he had neither intelligence nor strength. Seeing his humility, Sita Devi recognized that Hanuman was a sevak and a bhakta of Sri Ram in thought, word, and deed. And she wanted to give him something, but she had nothing with her. So she blessed him. She blessed him to become a treasure trove of physical strength, virtue, and power. In addition, she invoked eternal youth and immortality on him. But then she saw that Hanuman did not seem particularly moved or overjoyed by these blessings. So she added, "And may Sri Ram always love you and have compassion for you." When Hanuman heard that, he was deeply moved, and his heart filled with the most intense devotion, the kind of devotion that is referred to as Nirbhar Bhakti. And bowing down to Sita Devi over and over again, he said, "O Mother, I now feel fulfilled." Sri Ram had blessed him, and now Mother Sita too had given him her blessings. Hanuman experienced a sense of complete plenitude. Now the wise old owl in the audience had a question. Why did Sita Devi have to bless Hanuman with great strength and virtue when he already had these qualities? "That's a good question," said Kakbhushundi. "But remember that physical strength and virtue don't always remain permanent. Physical strength after a period of time ebbs away and a person grows weak. And a virtuous person doesn't always remain so, that virtue can be lost very quickly. Therefore, Sita Devi's blessing is so important because it ensured that Hanuman would remain constantly, consistently noble, virtuous, and strong. Night was now falling, and it was time to bring the story session to a close. The birds wished that the sun would forget to set, as it had done when Sri Ram was born. They would have loved the story to continue. But alas, that was not to be. So they bowed down with deep reverence and devotion to Kakbhushundi and flew off for the night.